So another story that came out of the sports world and really the big live events world in general is the Let's Go Brandon chant. Now, you may have seen or heard this chant along with the uh, coded version of the F Joe Biden chant in videos people are posting online at sporting events and concerts where a large portion of the crowd is audibly saying this from either a student section to a fan zone. Now, if you aren't aware of how this came about and you maybe heard this phrase and you're like, what the heck is this all about? It basically was a NASCAR driver named Brandon Brown was being interviewed post win at the racetrack, and the crowd was chanting F Joe Biden, fuck Joe Biden. But the reporter acknowledged the chant as them saying, let's go, Brandon. Now, Brandon, in this case, Brandon Brown, clearly heard what they were really saying and basically told the reporter, that's not what they were saying, but they didn't really go any further into clarifying what they were actually saying, probably for television purposes because there's expletives being used. And NBC Sports isn't, or NBC in general, isn't exactly known to be against Joe Biden, if you know what I mean. So Let's Go Brandon has now turned into the coded family friendly version of fuck Joe Biden and kind of the signal to other people unhappy with the current administration, letting them know that you are on their side, basically without getting any more social blowback than going against any mainstream or any administration would normally get you. Now, it is one of those moments that seems innocent, mistaking F Joe Biden with, or fuck Joe with let's go and Biden for Brandon, and just takes on a life of its own. And now we're here talking about it and it's become this big thing. So the entire thing is really funny to me, and it's really effective too, to kind of get a message out there without like being so cut through and kind of cut to the core, which is something that I think a lot of people were critical of President Trump for, but this is kind of a way to support him with kind of a passive aggressive coded message, if you will. And it's kind of wild to see the kind of right wing conservative crowd being the ones with the sense of humor. So it's kind of nice for a change. But this slogan is so effective that the rap song by the same name, Let's Go Brandon, was banned basically everywhere except for iTunes, which actually led it to briefly topping the singles chart above Adele's new song Easy on Me. Now, that is impressive, that one feat, but the headlines of this chart feat for Let's Go Brandon beating Adele were, in my opinion, blown out of proportion because iTunes, to a certain crowd, may be still relevant, but it doesn't have the same influence it did 5, 10, 15 years ago because streaming is now dominating the music landscape. So if the song was beating Adele on Spotify, I would be a little more impressed, but still, this is a sign that banning something in most places, not all, will just force people who really want that product to the few available places and create this headline making it appear more popular than it actually is, which I thought was the opposite intent of banning something in the first place. And in reference to the influence of iTunes, having these other marketplaces, if you will, ban this one song that people like is actually giving iTunes a boost in influence because that's the only place to get it. So I thought that was an interesting angle to this. And also on the social media Let's Go Brandon videos post front, I can't help but keep in the back of my mind the possibility that the videos being seen are potentially doctored as maybe propaganda in a world where information warfare is becoming the main modern warfare technique in this age, because I personally have not seen or heard the chant firsthand. I've just been seeing videos, but the live broadcast with where this originated, the Let's Go Brandon part, having it on a live newscast is hard to dispute. And it just may be one of those coincidences that you just cannot make up, supporting the theory that truth is stranger than fiction a lot of times. So let me know what you think of this story wherever you are able to comment. I want to know what you think of the Let's Go Brandon fiat or phenomenon, if you will.